So since the advent of 21st century, we have been using quite some fossil fuels with quite some effects on our planet, with CO2 emissions increasing by 3.4% per year. So we are definitely looking for a new renewable and a source of energy which does not cause these harms or cause less harm to our planet. And well, hydrogen as a fuel is a very good alternative for it. That is our topic for this video. Let's start a video on hydrogen economy in vehicles. I am Manas Saxena. Welcome to my channel. So the first topic of the video is hydrogen gas. When we generally talk about hydrogen, we mean hydrogen gas. It is formed when two atoms of hydrogen bond together to form molecular hydrogen. It is a colorless, odorless, tasteless gas. It is abundant in nature. It can be extracted from sources. It is lightweight. It is very less dense with around 14 times lighter than air. It is a very inflammable gas with a very high calorific value. Second topic is its methods of production. So there are mainly three methods of production at which hydrogen can be produced at commercial level. So the first method is electrolysis of water. In this, water is taken in a container with a positive rod stuck at one end, negative rod stuck at other end. They are connected by a wire and low voltage current is allowed to run between them. This separates the water into hydrogen and oxygen molecules. Oxygen gets collected at one of the rod and hydrogen gets collected at the other rod, and as hydrogen is lighter than water, it rises up and hydrogen is collected. Second is steam reformation method. In this, hydrogen is extracted from substances called hydrocarbon. For example, this thing happens at very high temperatures, like around 1000 degrees Celsius, with, for example, methane plus steam at 1000 degrees Celsius would give us carbon dioxide and hydrogen. This is the most popular and most efficient method used to commercially produce hydrogen, with 48% of hydrogen produced by this method. Third method is a acid metal reaction, in which a metal reacts with acid to give a salt and hydrogen gas. For example, zinc reacts with sulfuric acid to give zinc sulfate plus hydrogen gas. Alright, so our third topic is hydrogen economy. Now, hydrogen economy means the use of hydrogen as a fuel. Now, hydrogen is a very clean fuel, which means when burned with pure oxygen, it gives no remains, no ash, no smoke, nothing, just water vapor and heat. For the sake of time, we're gonna just focus on hydrogen economy in vehicles and leave hydrogen economy for energy production for another video. So topic number 4 is hydrogen vehicles. So there are two type of hydrogen vehicles. Number 1 are rockets. In rockets, hydrogen and oxygen are stored in two different containers in liquid form. So when the rocket has to leave, both of them are mixed and burned. The exhaust leaves the rocket at very high speed, which propels the rocket to go upward. Well, this is one of the strongest chemical reactions, and that is why it is used in rockets. With number 2, automobiles. Automobiles have two different type of engines. Number 1 is an internal combustion chamber. This is like a traditional gasoline engine, but it uses hydrogen as a fuel instead of gasoline. When hydrogen is burned, the force exerted by the expanding gas and heat is directly applied on parts of car which runs the car. So basically heat energy is converted into mechanical energy. The number 2 type of engines are fuel cells. When hydrogen burns, it releases heat. That fuel cell converts that heat into electricity, and that electricity runs the car. So heat energy to electrical energy to mechanical energy. Now, topic number 5 is efficiency, cost, and safety. So, talking about efficiency, a traditional gasoline engine has an efficiency of 20% of fuel to energy conversion, whereas in most HPVs, a fuel cell is used and that has an efficiency of 40 to 60%. So, they are much more efficient than a gasoline car. Number 2 is cost. So here is a list of all the commercially available HPVs. Talking about the fuel, 1 kg of hydrogen has the same energy as 1 gallon of gasoline, and 1 kg of hydrogen is $16. 1 gallon of gasoline is only $5. So you are paying more money for hydrogen fuel than gasoline for the same amount of energy. But as I mentioned, that hydrogen cars are much more efficient than gasoline cars, so they can travel more distance in less amount of fuel. Now safety, now this topic is a matter of concern for almost everyone watching this, because we have that concept in our mind that hydrogen is inflammable and it is dangerous. Well, hydrogen and gasoline are equally dangerous, but hydrogen is more safe than gasoline in case of HPVs, because hydrogen is 14 times lighter than air. If there is a crack or a leak, hydrogen will just go straight up in the air. Instead of gasoline, gasoline is denser than air and covers the car in case of a leak. So they are both equally dangerous, but hydrogen powered car is as safe as a gasoline car. Topic number 6 is its environmental effects. So, hydrogen is a clean fuel, and which means it gives no ash, no smoke when burned with pure oxygen, but it can have some indirect effect. For example, a global hydrogen economy replaces the current fossil fuel based energy system instantly, and it experiences a leakage of 10% per year. So the amount of climatic impact it would have would be 6% of what the global fossil fuel energy based system was. Wait a second, I know this sounds confusing. Let me simplify. For example, the current fossil fuel based system causes an impact of X, and suddenly hydrogen based economy replaces that fossil fuel, and there is a leakage of 10% per year of hydrogen gas into the atmosphere. Then the damage it would cause to the or the climatic impact it would have on the atmosphere would be 6% of X. This is a little bit confusing, but if you see it 2 or 3 times, it would just get simplified over for you. I'll put an equation to explain it. Now you ask, is 6% enough? Well, I would say that 6% is very low in comparison to 100%. Now, hydrogen will have environmental effects, but it would be much lower than currently what we are having. So, topic number 7 are limitations of HPVs. So, the main limitation is that it is still in its early stages, and it needs more perfection. For example, it needs more funding, it needs more research, it needs more refueling station, more cars, more markets. Currently, there are only 3 cars which are allowed to commercially run, and they are only available in specific markets. All markets don't allow running a hydrogen car, and even if they do allow, you won't get a refueling station nearby. Now, for our final topic, it is a conclusion. Hydrogen is a really good alternative to fossil fuels. It is abundant in nature, it is environment friendly in comparison to fossil fuels. The problem is, hydrogen economy requires more funding and more research, with it may save mankind from a terrible fate. Well, that is it from me this time. You'll see me in the next video. Until then, bye.